Welcome to Inside the Deal. I'm Suzanne Stevens. With me is John Zieser. John is Chief Development Officer for the media and marketing firm Meredith Corp. John, you were here about 3 months ago.
Right.
At that time, you said the deal market was looking better. There weren't necessarily a lot of deals happening, but things were starting to turn a little bit.
Yeah.
What are you seeing now?
Well, you know, Suzanne, there's just a ton of money out there on the sidelines, and it's just waiting to deploy. But people are pretty gun-shy right now. You know, and it's a different game because, you know, the old game, as you probably know, private equity would come in, they'd slash costs, they'd fire a bunch of people, they'd leverage up the balance sheet. That game does not work anymore. What I would call that is the old normalcy. I think what we're turning to is what I would call is the new normalcy. Private equity, sometimes I call frenemies, are coming to us and coming to other strategic partners and trying to do much more creative deals, which will not be around just cost synergies and turnaround. They'll be more strategically structured.
Okay, so what's in it for you? You have a private equity firm. We know that they need cash.
Yeah.
They need a partner to validate deals right now at a time of little credit. What's in it for you as a strategic, especially a strategic that's in a position to do things on your own?
Well, we can do things on our own. Many times we will approach targets and they're already entrenched with private equity or in particular VCs, so they're just an audience that we have to deal with. However, they do bring certain things to the table. Sometimes they bring management discipline, sometimes they bring financing, sometimes they bring an interest in assets that perhaps we don't want. What we try to do is focus on how we can deploy our strategic assets in a way that makes the target more valuable. Then the question for us is, does the VC or the private equity play a role in that? If they play a role, maybe they have some strategic value, maybe they own another business that could have strategic value. We will want to be long-term partners with those guys. If they don't play a role, then we'll be negotiating an exit strategy for them, which typically involves, you know, a 2 or 3 year scenario.
Well, how different is the market? How different is this new normalcy? I mean, did you have private equity and venture capitalists actually coming to you, say, 2 years ago?
We did not have private equity coming to us. VCs and private equity typically viewed strategics as competitive. We would be competing against them on all of the things that we would be trying to buy. Now it's a much more of a hybrid type environment.
The frenemy relationship.
The frenemy relationship, exactly. And we have to be very creative. We wear different hats depending upon what we're pursuing. But private equity and venture capital know that many times money does not solve the problem.
And how often are you having these discussions now?
Almost on a daily basis. We are really having all kinds of conversations, both on the new media side and on the traditional media side.
John Zieser with Meredith Corp. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
I'm Suzanne Stevens. Thanks for watching Inside the Deal.